We are looking good. Let's give a big round of applause to our opening and closing acts here that are helping us out with Flamenco Louisville, the Chalet Bollywood Dance Company, Smitha Paley Dancers, and the Destin Dance Company. Thank you guys very, very much. This is one of our great weekends we've got coming up on Labor Day weekend. We're a city that really values contributions of people who've come from all over the world to make a life for themselves here in our great city. We're also a city that's guided by our core values of health and lifelong learning and compassion, and we see all this come together during Worldfest. So today I'm here to talk about the ways we celebrate our values with two signature community events that happen every year in Louisville over the Labor Day weekend. And that, of course, is Worldfest and then Hike, Bike, and Paddle. So, that's right. I will warn you in advance, too, this is a little lengthy press conference because we got a lot to talk about, and you can see we got a lot of our great citizens up here as well. So let's start with Worldfest. Worldfest this year is presented by Louisville 3rd Century. We really appreciate that. And it's our 20th year anniversary. Worldfest has given us a chance to really celebrate the beauty and richness and heritage that people from all over Louisville, all over the world have brought to Louisville, and to highlight our increasing global community that we have here in our city that I'm so grateful for and so proud of. I want to recognize the founder, the founding director of Worldfest 20 years ago, who was here, moved away, and has lived abroad and moved back about 6 months ago. He's now the CEO of the Kentucky World Trade Center. But I wanted to thank him for his founding vision 20 years ago, and that is Omar Ayash. Omar, thank you, buddy. Good job. Glad to have him back in the city. He ran the Office for International Affairs under Dave Armstrong's administration. So, of course, international engagement is a year-round priority for us. Taking Louisville to the world, bringing the world to Louisville. Our Office for Globalization is headed up by Kevin Lynch. Kevin, where are you here? Right here, Kevin Lynch is with us as well. Kevin and Amos Izermana are dedicated to engaging our international population and help Louisville compete in an international multicultural world. And during this year, you're going to find the Office for Globalization in the World of Information, where they'll be giving out free global dining passports. We got such a rich food scene, restaurant scene of global restaurants, and a lot of people aren't aware of where they are or what they are, so we're going to be putting together our first ever passport to help people get out and about and see some of the great food from our foreign-born residents. So the passports include information on international restaurants, including maps where they can be found, and it's a great way to travel around the world without leaving the city. And Worldfest, of course, is another way to do that. This year's 20th anniversary showcases more vendors than ever before, an incredible parade, and I can tell you some spectacular music performances curated by the one and only Ken Clay, right over there. Let's give it up to Ken. I believe this is the largest free high-class music festival of anywhere in this region. So it's a great opportunity to come out and celebrate and hear some great music. Now we kick off on Friday, September the 2nd, and we go through Monday, September 5th. And as always, admission is free, thanks to our many great sponsors. Worldfest highlights include our Global Village, representing more than 20 countries, and of course, fantastic entertainment and fantastic food. On the entertainment, this year we will have 3 stages featuring more than 70 bands, dance groups, and performers with more than 50 world music acts and performers. So no matter where you're at in the world, there is something for you, and we encourage all of our groups to come out and enjoy their musical cultures, which includes food. There will be more than 40 food vendors and nearly 100 booths offering global cuisine and culture at Worldfest. I again want to thank Ken Clay and DJ Campbell for programming 4 days of music and entertainment, including Maestro J, Millennial, and Gary Brewer and the Kentucky Ramblers. Other groups include the Afrophysicist, Voodoo Fuel, the Lost Tribe of Louisville, and we will have the exciting Fiesta Latina on Saturday and the Junkaroo Jams on Sunday night. So if you got the stamina to get through these 4 days of entertainment, music, and dancing, here's to you. I'll be here trying. Now, when you arrive at Worldfest, be sure to pick up a map that's printed by Aldea in America to know when and where all these great acts are performing. Thank you to Jose Donis right over here, the founder of Aldea, a great citizen here in Louisville. Thank you, Jose. Always low-key. Now, Aldea is Kentucky's Hispanic newspaper, and they will be offering a free event where they will give small business advice to immigrants with interpreters on hand. Alongside the new nonprofit LUCE, Lucy, they'll also be launching an initiative to provide electricity, electrical, HVAC, and plumber apprenticeship programs focused on our Spanish-speaking community. So thank you, Aldea, for your commitment to Worldfest in our community, and thanks for developing the talent in our city as well. I also want to thank Steve Tarver and the YMCA of Greater Louisville for sponsoring the YMCA's Children's International Activity Zone, where kids will find face painting, inflatable games, crafts, and more. Thank you, YMCA and Steve Tarver. Good job to you guys. Thank you. I want to thank the Kentucky Science Center and the Louisville Free Public Library for helping support the children's area with fun and educational crafts and games. Now, one popular tradition at Worldfest is the Parade of Cultures. That goes along downtown streets at noon on Saturday, with people of all ages dressed in native clothing and costumes, carrying their national flags and showcasing the multicultural diversity of our unique city. So I'm saying Parade of Cultures because your culture may not have a flag, or excuse me, a country flag, but if you have a cultural flag, feel free to participate. So for all the different cultures we have in Louisville, get your group together and come on out in the Parade of Cultures at noon on Saturday. I want to thank McDonald's of Greater Louisville, Lexington, and Southern Indiana for sponsoring this year's Parade of Cultures. Thank you, McDonald's. Another great event is the Naturalization Ceremony, where more than 65 immigrants will become United States citizens on that day. Yes, it's a fantastic and beautiful and really emotionally moving event. That will be held on Friday, September 2nd at 1:30 p.m. at the Muhammad Ali Center. And of course, the public is invited to that. Lastly, we will have the World of Information tent on the Overlook Plaza, showcasing international agencies and services available to all immigrants and citizens. So there's a lot of fun to be had over these 4 days in downtown Louisville. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Louisville 3rd Century. This group is a longtime supporter of Worldfest, and we're so excited to have them joining us this year.
We have a long history with the city and its tradition of free to the public events. And we're so pleased, and I am pleased on behalf of the Board of Directors of Louisville 3rd Century, to renew our commitment to these free to the public events. We couldn't be happier to be back. I know how much work goes into an event like this. We have done several 3-day events, and I can't imagine adding a 4th. I mean, bravo to you all, Mike, Monica, Emily, Mayor, everybody in your office, all of our sponsors. Thank you for your contributions and your commitments to making this event happen. We're so glad to be back. Now, as I was telling Matt Milofevic, it's up to him now to bring the weather, and everything will be great. It's such a remarkable event. It's really, come down, we'll see you there.
I also want to give a big shout out to our co-sponsors, Stella Artois, presented by our partners and sponsor, Anheuser-Busch and Standard Sales, has been a sponsor of Worldfest since the beginning, and we really appreciate their support and their commitment to Worldfest. And Passport Health Plan by Molina Healthcare. It's through the support of all these partners that we're able to keep Worldfest a free festival for the community, which really is quite an amazing thing given the scope of all of the exhibitions and entertainment.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Ryan Sadler. I'm the plan president and CEO of Passport Health Plan by Molina Healthcare. Thank you, Mayor Fisher, for inviting us here today and for being committed to this important initiative with Worldfest to support building and developing the culture in our community. I'd like to say thank you to Nicole Yates, our AVP of Community Engagement, who is here with me today. And to remind you that Passport has a long-standing tradition of providing excellent local healthcare service to our community, focusing on the well-being and the health of not only our members, but the communities that we serve. And as you know, health and well-being goes beyond just medical, but also about cultural engagement of our people. And that's why we're proud to be a leading sponsor of the Worldfest. Passport has been a sponsor for many years, and it's a fitting partnership because so much of our daily work involves our focus on connecting with minority members and immigrants who are coming into Louisville from all over, and to the state, really, from all over the world. Some of our key partnerships include La Casita, Americana Community Center, Catholic Charities, Kentucky Refugee Ministries, and Muslim Americans for Compassion, and the Office of Globalization. This September, we will welcome Kentuckians and visitors from all over the world to this incredible festival and celebration of not only diversity in our community, but how that diversity enriches the lives of this community. In addition to being a leading sponsor, Passport will have team members here to assist festival goers with information on benefits, health education, and connection to community-based services and resources. All of this will be available in many languages. We should remove as many barriers as we can so that all people can receive quality health care.
Now, there's a couple more Worldfest sponsors I would like to thank as well. The World Hub sponsor is GE Appliances, a great global company that's headquartered in Louisville. We appreciate them. The Overlook Stage sponsor is Park Community Credit Union. Thank you, guys. The beverage sponsor, Pepsi. Thank you, Pepsi. Media sponsors, WLKY, Debbie Robertson, and Matt Milosevic. Yes, Matt, he always comes. What's the weather looking like, Matt?
You know, we do this on what is normally the driest weekend of the year, so things are looking good.
Normally driest weekend of the year, things are looking good. Confidence level is?
Boy, you're really tight. 60%.
60%. Weather forecasting, the only job when you're right half the time you get paid for it. But we love you, Matt Milosevic. Let's hear it from Matt. I want to give a special thanks to Rabbit Hole also for stepping up this year to sponsor the Galt House Hotel, Aldea in America, Outfront Media, Louisville Public Media, and Leo Weekly. We really appreciate everybody stepping up to make this great community event happen. Now, let's go to the other great free Louisville event we have this weekend, and it's on Labor Day. That's Monday, September the 5th. Thousands of people will be gathering at the Louisville Community Boathouse for the 18th year and 36th occasion of the Hike, Bike, Paddle, Yoga, and Tai Chi event presented by Norton Sports Health. If you want to hit the river with your kayak or canoe after 9 a.m., a great route will take you through the Portland Canal to the McAlpin Locks, then to Shawnee Park boat ramp. This is an unusual thing to be able to do as an individual, so we do it as a group. Once you're at Shawnee, our friends at TARC will shuttle paddlers back to the community boathouse. So I want to say thank you to TARC for doing that. I'd also like to thank David Wicks and Scott Whittemore and the entire River City Paddle Sports for their great support of the paddle portion of that day. Yeah, let's hear it for our paddling team. It's an interesting thing, too. So if you're hiking or biking, stop by the boathouse to say hello to the team there and get more information on the programs that they offer. Now, for our thousands of cyclists, we've got it's a longer route if you want to do the entire route. It's an 18.2-mile route, our longest route yet. We'll take cyclists down River Road, 9.1 miles, all the way to the entrance of Hayes Kennedy Park, and then turn around and come back to the community boathouse. So it's an easy ride. It's a flat ride. And it's also a beautiful ride to see the river along the way. For our hikers, we've got 4 different routes, including one that leaves the community boathouse and goes across the Big 4 Bridge to Jeffersonville and back. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th routes will accommodate hikers walking with their pets, since animals are not permitted on the bridge. One route is a shortened version going along the waterfront park sidewalks to the Big Four Bridge, then back to the community boathouse. Another route runs from the community boathouse along the waterfront to the Kennedy Bridge and back. And the final route, for those wanting a slightly longer route, can continue past the bridge to the Belle of Louisville Wharf and back. I want to thank the Louisville Bike Club that is showing up in major numbers today and looking good. Thank you guys. Support those bike lanes. This is what retirement looks like over here, folks. All right, the hike, bike, and paddle portion of the event begins just after 9 a.m., but there's going to be plenty of activities that start at 8 o'clock. So come out and join me. We'll start with some yoga with Yoga East. We'll get attendees stretched and ready for the day on the lawn. The new chapter of Tai Chi, Chuan, and Kigo Institute group will lead a Tai Chi lesson. Really good to help with your flow and your balance. And in front of the stage, we will have Zumba again to get you warmed up, led by Shamika of New Image Fitness. That's a lot of fun ways to do. You can do a whole lot of things before 10 o'clock in the morning. Also, if you get there early, you can grab one of 3,000 free t-shirts. And then in addition, the Brain Injury Association of Kentucky will fit 500 bike helmets for cyclists who do not have a helmet. So let's hear it for the Brain Injury Association of Kentucky. I want to thank Wayne Hedinger, who I see standing over here as well. Wayne helps with production with so many great events in our city, including, of course, Thunder over Louisville and many others. So, Wayne, thank you for being a great citizen. Hike, bike, and paddle is free as well, and that's because Norton Sports Health is the presenting sponsor, and they've helped us many, many years.
Norton Sports Health is always excited to be a part of the Mayor's Hike, Bike, and Paddle. We promote an active lifestyle by way of partnering with local organizations, such as the Louisville Bicycle Club over there, as well as the Louisville Metro Special Events Team, which, by the way, they do an amazing job for this event, so we're always excited when it comes around twice a year. Norton Sports Health looks forward to seeing our community come together again to promote overall wellness.
Our Parks Department helps with so much of this. Margaret Brosco is here, our Parks Director back here. Margaret, thank you for your good work. Okay, I also want to thank Republic Bank for supporting the hike, bike, and paddle. They supply bottled water for attendees. I also want to recognize the tremendous effort of our Metro agencies. Putting this together here, Worldfest, and putting hike, bike, and paddle together on the same weekend is a daunting task for our Metro agencies, doing it over a holiday weekend, but they do it with joy, without complaint, and with dedication to the community. So I want to thank our Parks and Recreation team, our Iroquois Amphitheater, our Public Works and Assets team, our Solid Waste team, Facilities team, Electrical Maintenance team, LMPD, and the Louisville Fire Department all come together in our Emergency Management team to make all this happen. So that's a lot of your taxpayer dollars at work there. So let's hear it for them. And then we got a great special events team that pulls all this together. So I want to thank Monica, Mike, Kara, and Emily for standing up and pulling all this together from a planning standpoint. Great people. Thank you so much. Monica Shekels over here. And I also want to recognize an individual who led our special events team through the COVID lockdown by coming up with creative and exciting ways to keep our community events going in Louisville, and that is Mr. Marty Storch. Marty retired for the second time from Metro government about a month ago. I'm glad that he's here because we wanted to thank him for his commitment over the years to the city of Louisville, over the decades to the city of Louisville, over his life to the city of Louisville. And while we regretted to see him go, he's going to continue bringing amazing things to the city of Louisville as the Chief Operating Officer of Danny Wimmer Presents. And, of course, everybody knows Danny Wimmer with Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life, but Marty now is running that operation around the country as well. So, Marty, we wanted to give you a proclamation to thank you for everything that you've done. Where are you, Marty? Can we embarrass you in front of the crowd here? This is the city of Louisville honoring Marty Storch as we celebrate his undaunting commitment to hosting first-class events for residents For 4 years, Marty lent his tireless work and entrepreneurial spirit to helping Louisville's traditional celebrations flourish through his leadership of our special events team, especially when COVID-19 required innovation to keep the party going. A man who's never met a stranger and always leaves a big impression, Marty has been a valued liaison with some of our city's amazing festivals and other celebrations, and he's often been a clutch contributor of community connections and resources in good times and in challenging times. So our city extends its deepest gratitude to Marty for each day turning his love of our city into action, and looks forward to his continued work in bringing people together. Marty, we really appreciate you. Thank you, Marty.
You know, it's not hard to live a good life for the community when you have good leadership like Mayor Fisher. We do owe him a big round of applause. You know, I may be splitting time between the two LAs now. That's Los Angeles and the Louisville area. But Louisville is my home. Worldfest is a big part of me. Thank you for this. And I just want to let you all know that events like this are what really helps bring a community together. And it's how a community grows. And Mayor, we appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Marty. And I want to acknowledge Monica Shekels over here. Monica is now leading our special events team. Thank you, Monica. Okay, one other thing. We've got a major globalization centered event taking place in the city as we speak. On Sunday was the first round of the Women's Cup International Tournament, Global Soccer Tournament. On Wednesday is the semifinals. It will pit Milan, Italy against Louisville Racing in one of the semifinals. And then it will pit OL Reign against Club de Mexico, Mexico City, in the other semis. And then in the 5th and 6th place match, we've got Tottenham from the London area playing Tokyo. So please come out on Wednesday. You can get tickets at womenscup.world. And we hope that we will win on Wednesday night. Then that will put us in the final game on Saturday. So we'll see how that'll play out in terms of what the final matches are. But women's soccer is by far the fastest growing sport in the world right now. It's expected to be the #2 most watched sport in the world by 2030, with the first obviously being men's soccer. So we really want to get out and support our women's team here in Louisville, and you can do that by showing up at the games both Wednesday and Saturday. So I would encourage everybody to do that. Again, you can get tickets very reasonably priced at womenscup.world. Okay, let me just say in closing that as mayor, it's been a real honor. This will be my last time as the mayor of Louisville speaking to you all about these events, but it's been a big priority of mine to make both of the events bigger. We've added a day to Worldfest, and we've really focused on making our city a more global city. And it has really accelerated the growth of Louisville and added to the interesting lives we have here, to the culture we have in our city. So I'm really proud of what's taking place and grateful for our foreign-born communities. My only request to you all is invite your brothers, invite your sisters, your aunts and uncles, and everybody in your family to move to Louisville, okay? Please do that. And then on Hike, Bike, and Paddle, obviously we want to be even a healthier city. So we've added all kinds of events to that: yoga, Tai Chi, pickleball, rock climbing. So if there's any type of way to be active, let's become more active and continue adding events so we can be a more interesting city from both a cultural standpoint and a healthy city as well. So that's why Labor Day is one of my favorite weekends of the year, just getting out and enjoying who we are. And I look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you all for covering this, and thank you for all the wonderful people here that showed up with us here today. Thanks, everybody.